Today we're going to talk about two fragrances from the house of Rasasi. We're going to compare them to each other. And why these two fragrances? Because these two are two of the pillars of the Rasasi brand. I mean, these two fragrances, Rasasi Daarej and Rasasi Tasmeem, are two of the fragrances that made Rasasi brand popular. Now, these two fragrances share a couple of similarities, but the smell is not that similar. Even though, if you look at the notes breakdown, it's basically the same thing. Now, another thing these two fragrances have in common, besides the fact that they both come from the house of Rasasi, they have the same notes breakdown, is the price. They both spin at around $20 price point. Now, as I usually do before talking about the smell itself and before revealing which one I like the most, I would like to talk a bit about the presentation, because I really think that the presentation is an important factor when it comes to purchasing fragrances. Now, the bottles, they are both really nice looking and really well done, but I do prefer the bottle of Rasasi Daarej. First of all, I think it just looks better, and the color of the juice, the purple color, I simply love it. Another thing that I love about the Dareej bottle is the grip. I mean, the way you can actually hold the bottle, it feels really ergonomic and comfortable. It feels also heavy with this almost like star-shaped looking bottle. The Rasasi Tasmeem bottle is also well done, but it doesn't feel as ergonomic in the hand as the Dareej one. But it does have this colorful design with this blue T inscripted, not actually inscripted, but colored on the squares of the bottle, which probably comes from the word Tasmeem. What I do prefer from the Tasmeem bottle over the Dareej bottle is the cap. I mean, the cap from the Dareej bottle almost looks like the cap from Mont Blanc Star Walker, but it feels kind of cheap. It's plastic, definitely plastic. But the one from Tasmeem, I mean, just take a look at the top. It has this jewel-like design and it's metal. It's really heavy, and probably I love this the most. Just hear this. This click when you put the cap back on the bottle and gives you this feel, it's very satisfying to hear this sound. And it shows that the system, the mechanism works really well, and that the cap stays in place. I have Rasasi Daarej on my left hand. Tasmeem, I don't really need to put it on my hand. I mean, it really smells quite powerful just from the atomizer. These two fragrances are on the sweet side, and they both spin around the notes of vanilla, cumin, and tonka bean. The notes breakdown is the same. The smell is different. This is a fragrance that is more on the fresh, spicy side, because when you smell it, you're definitely getting some brightness, some, let's say, sparkling effect, probably coming from some citruses. And definitely it has a fresh smell. To my nose, Tasmeem is sweeter than Dareej and might be considered unisex, but leans more towards the male side. And I consider this to be a daytime fragrance, a fragrance that you want to wear casually. This one is a different story. Let's move on to Rasasi Daarej. Now, Rasasi Daarej is definitely also on the sweet side, and especially in the opening. By the way, another thing they both have in common, they are very linear. Back to Rasasi Daarej, this one after a couple of minutes becomes definitely more masculine than Tasmeem. They are both also smooth, not only linear but smooth, because of the combination of amber, sandalwood, and musk. I definitely think that it's a nighttime fragrance, It's definitely on the sexy side, and it's definitely more elegant. It's not the type of fragrance that you want to wear with shorts and t-shirt. Performance on both is great for the price, and you know Rasasi makes great performing fragrances. These are two of those fragrances. But if I had to pick a winner, if I had to pick my favorite from these two, it's not really that tough. I pick Rasasi Daarej because it's definitely gives you this aroma, this smell of a well-made fragrance, almost masterpiece-like. And for the price, you can consider it one of the masterpieces from the house of Rasasi. It's elegant, it's sexy, it performs well, it has a great price. I mean, sometimes I see Tasmeem more expensive than Dareej. Two fragrances that are so similar in many aspects, yet quite different. And it's well worth having both. And with that being said, I hope that this video cleared things up about these two fragrances. And if you have any other doubts, leave them in a comment below. But until the next video, keep smelling great.